Ladies, gentlemen, and every magnificent thing between and outside, this is the Envoy of Kairos, here for a huge update to the Mesopas region. As a quick refresher, and for anyone new here, the Mesopas region is based on the entire Anatolic Peninsula, west to the Zagros Mountains, and south through the Arabic Peninsula. It's named after Mesopotamia, the oldest known inhabited and civilized area in human history, and the seedbed of every culture and religion in Eurasia. As such, it's a doubles region, including collaboration between two trainers of your making, right from the start. But I'll get into customization and original features in the next video. Today, I'm walking you all through the first leg of the story, and the first third of the region's cities, as well as two of the gyms. So, let me introduce you to someone who will introduce you to the Mesopas region.
Yes, I've got this handled. Well, don't you look to be promising new trainers? Welcome to Mesopas, and more specifically, the lovely port city of Gaziantep. Such an old and lovely city. Beautiful old architecture across these steep hills. Bright and inviting murals, and a tight-knit but ever-growing community. You chose an excellent place to start your adventure, and not just because my lab happens to be here. You can find a little of everything Mesopas has to offer and more in a place like this. The city may stay the same, but the people are always changing. Oh yes, where are my manners? Call me Professor Cedar. Sorry for the ramble, my train of thought jumped the tracks years ago. Now, I believe you've come here to pick your starter and get registered in the league, yeah? Well, I have 3 on offer. You and your partner each get 1. I'll take care of whoever's left. They've all proven to be wonderful assistants. I'm sure they'll serve your needs just fine. Just remember, cohesion is essential here in Mesopas. Every league-sanctioned battle is a doubles battle, and you'll both have to bring your best and have each other's backs. But I urge you to be careful out there. Mesopas has been changing a good deal lately. Some ways for the better, some for worse. A lot of new business coming in from outside the region, and a lot of excavation and construction plans. I don't mind the new rail system the Shuttle Trains Limited is putting in, but the routes they're choosing worry me. Anyway, off you go then. Good luck out there, kids.
And so, your adventure begins. The streets of Gaziantep are plentiful and steep, giving you a good deal to explore before heading inland. But once you crest the hill and pass into the valley, things quickly grow open and scarce. The port was comfortable, but much of this region's land is quite dry. Rolling hills and rocky paths ahead are loaded with partrol and Gelenseek, and the most obvious path leads northeast towards a much more lush area. But on the way, you might notice a path that cuts through and over the hills into a rockier, drier space surrounded by caution signs and low stone walls. Veering south slightly, you may discover the Boshgobek Tep, an ancient ruin site that's been heavily excavated and studied for many years. It's a humbling sight to see this ancient place exposed to the light of day after so long, bringing with it countless mysteries pertaining to the oldest societies known to man. Here, you can easily find some of the region's first psychic and ghost-type Pokemon, including your first encounter with Mesopan Yamask. As you explore and catch a few new species, you happen to hear a few men arguing over the placement of explosives as they stand over a recently broken slab of the floor, exposing a stairwell descending into a previously unknown basement chamber. Explosives can be seen in the stairwell, but sadly, you don't get the chance to stop them from starting the timer. The one holding the device starts it right away as they spot you. And then, 2 figures in construction gear rush you with the intent of holding you off until the blast caves in the chamber they uncovered. From here, you have a limited number of turns to defeat them. If you succeed, you can get the detonator and shut the explosives off in time. If you fail, it will be destroyed, and you'll never see the mural and artifacts within, which will provide you with magnificent hints toward the overarching plot and ancient history of this region. After succeeding or failing here, venture back to the main path and adventure further northeast. You'll eventually wander through a gorgeous, vast field of flowers, organized in every possible color you can imagine. Scattered about them, you can frequently see large apiaries, housing a plethora of bee Pokemon, including comb bee, the occasional bee drill, but most interestingly, there's one line maintaining the apiaries, but not making honey. Here you can find Chirisu and Kylorangaz. Chirisu, when hatched, are supplied with wooden mallets, hollowed out into protective nests to live in until they're ready to evolve. They're solid bug type, but do learn occasional grass and even ground moves, like Branch Poke and Mud Slap. Once they evolve into Kylorangaz, they become bug flying, but they're a bit more versatile than most with this type. They pick up moves like Wood Hammer and Drill Run, and come with a unique ability, Handy, which gives them a 30% buff in damage to all tool-based moves, which includes hammers, drills, and cutters. They are, of course, carpenter bees, and based on a breed of blue carpenter bee found around Lake Van in Turkey. The vibrant blue goes quite well with blue being a much more common color for visible construction wear in the Middle East, due to the arid climate making the usual yellows and oranges seen elsewhere blend in a lot more. Among these new bees, you may spot someone supplying the wood they use to repair the apiaries, and occasionally helping them to patch bigger holes left by more determined predators.
I heard some new challenges were coming this way. Name's Aruker. Pleasure to meet you. I need to get a bit more work done here, but I should see you at the gym before long. The hard part's gonna be getting my mom to show up. If you want to get your match there and sooner, you might want to head north through town to the mountain and see if you can find her around there. She hasn't been home in a while, so she'll probably be somewhere back near the base again. Just ask her out for Damla. See you at the gym.
And so you move on, heading deeper into the fields of flowers, and soon coming upon the lakeside city of Vantu. The lake is rather large, and the town forms a crescent shape around the southwest side, forming another large sloped paradise nestled between the vibrant fields and a few lush forests surrounding the lake. Here you can find Mesopan Glamiao aplenty, scattered around town and swimming about near the shores of the lake. The lake itself is loaded with water types of all kinds, even the occasional Bruxish. But these Bruxish have an occasional predator to deal with, another convergent Pokemon for the region. This is Larvamic. Though they appear to be a tentacle, they're actually a small collective of bug dark type larvae and eggs, clustered to look like a tentacle. These are mosquito larvae, which are left laid in clusters on the surface of still water. By making themselves appear to be tentacle, they deter Pokemon with advantages against their type, like fighting and fire types, while attracting Bruxish, who think they'll be getting an easy meal. Instead, they become the meal, sucked dry in mere moments by something unaffected by their psychic abilities. Although they have an evolution, I'll be saving that for a special occasion later on, as they become something quite different from other convergents so far, and more dangerous than you can imagine. After exploring the town and shores for a bit, you'll find there's two ways north to the mountains. Either around the lake and through the woods, or you can take a ferry ride across it. It turns out the other gym leader you're looking for owns this ferry company, and they took their best ship across the lake a week ago. They do have smaller ones running though, and you can get a quick ride across for a small fee, and maybe a chance to battle some of the people on the ship while you wait. But they forbid certain attack types on their ship, for safety's sake. Upon reaching the other side, you'll quickly find yourself at the base of Mount Pishtim. The icy caps high above are an imposing sight, and the climb appears steep and harrowing. The base can be climbed easily enough with some odd circumnavigation, but before you can get even a quarter of the way up, you'll hit a dead end, and find a woman laying there against the cliff. Once she notices you, she's quick to jump to her feet and put on a smile.
Oh hey, come all this way looking for me? How long's it been? A week? Wow, I completely lost track of time. I guess my son sent you, huh? Okay, yeah, I should probably get back to the gym though, and grab a shower and a quick meal on the way. Hey, how about, since you came all this way looking for me, I give you a ride back on my ship? Usually it costs a pretty penny to board the SS Cliff Diver, but I'll give you one freebie for all the trouble. And then I'll see you bright and early tomorrow for your gym challenge, alright?
So, that hassle managed, you get a good night's sleep at the inn built into the local trainer's center, and the following day is your first gym challenge. The Vantu gym, being the first gym of a doubles league, has 2 leaders and 2 types. In this case, you have Aruker as the bug leader, and his mother Damla as the water leader. Their gym is stationed in a greenhouse where they manage the water supply and various bugs managing pollination here. The puzzle to make your way through the gym involves the management of multiple water channels, to move bridges and get across gaps. Once you've crossed them all and reached the arena, the 2 of them pose an interesting challenge with the balance of type coverage between them. Your best bet is flyers, but they won't be too easy to come by with the regional bird being Partrol. So your best bet is the returning birds in the forests surrounding the lake, if you didn't take the ferry shortcut. Against them, you're sure to deal with Kylorangaz, Larvimic, Mesopan Glamiao, and Bruxish. Later, when rematching them, expect that Mesopan Glamiao to be one seriously dangerous Perugly, and that Kylorangaz to have a coverage moveset that can sweep you if you're not careful.
Hey, not bad, kids. You really got talent. My wife would have loved to see this battle. When she's back on her feet, be sure to come by and try us again. She would love you to.
Yeah, Mama would. But hey, you 2 really proved yourselves here. Get out there and show all of Mesopas what you've got. You really earned this nurture badge.
And with the nurture badge in hand, your pair of trainers, soon to be heroes, have completed the first step of their adventure to master the Mesopas region. From here, the road to the northwest calls them. Here, you find the land growing a tad more arid, but maintaining wide grasslands with scattered farms, leading you between 2 small mountains and up into a more arid and flat region to the north. Far ahead, you can see a clear border, fenced off and manned with trainers, ensuring you veer off to the west. Amidst the farms here, you can easily find a close friend of Larvimic. This is Nymphake. It's a locust nymph Pokemon. Nymphs are a kind of insect that hatches without a larval state, and simply grows into maturity without metamorphizing. Locust egg pods are laid vertically in soft and sandy soil, and the nymphs keep a pale, earthy coloration that blends in with it as they mature and grow their wings, with the whole cluster of siblings sticking close together until they're ready to fly. In this case, large quantities of Nymphake hatch near farms, and keep themselves shrouded in dirt and sand, their bug ground typing giving them acute control of it at close range. With this dirt disguise, they make themselves look like Diglett from a distance, convincing farmers to leave them be, as Diglett are very helpful for tilling and fertilizing farms. Much like Larvimic, Nymphake takes a while to evolve, but once it does, it becomes something special and horrifying. But that will be for another day. As you pass beyond the farms, you may notice one towering tree in the middle of a field, surrounded by knee-high rubble and ruins. This place seems sacred somehow, but for now there is little to be done here, save for maybe finding the occasional discarded Mesopan Porygon body or core. Heading further west, your next grand sight is the towering fairy chimneys, often topped with Mesopan driftloon and driftblim, bordering Behenisad, an ancient city whose name means Land of Joyful Skies. Here, you can enjoy their annual balloon festival and ride them into the skies over the city, or watch the dazzling display from below. The festivities are in full swing when you arrive, and even when the festival isn't underway, you can expect treats and trainers galore. But when you partake in the festivities, whether on the ground or in the sky, there's a sudden bout of screams as balloons are pierced and begin to fall from the sky. You can see Firo and Skarmory zipping about and causing havoc, all commanded by cloaked trainers in a single black balloon up above. How you handle this attack depends on where you choose to start it, either going after them directly or rushing to help those who've crashed. If you have flyers in your team, you can send them up to intercept from the ground as well. Regardless of the outcome, when it's all said and done, you see a crowbat pierce the black balloon and bring them down, but the criminals aboard produce an Elgian and teleport out. The source of the crowbat is unknown until later that evening, when you're confronted by a man in a gray cloak, backed by a ferocious feraligator. I saw you kids working out there. You've done a good job, but by now, you've grabbed the attention of a few unsavory people. You'd best keep your heads up and eyes open now. I can't tell you who they are just yet, or who I am. If that information got out, this region would be in a panic in no time. We'd lose any advantage we might have. For now, I'll be keeping an eye on you while my investigation continues. I've seen plenty of new trainers make their way up to legendary status before. I know that potential when I see it. I just hope for your sake, you both grow fast enough to make it count. Good luck out there. With that, he leaves with the flash of an Alakazam's teleport. Long gone, you're now clear to move on, and travel up and around the edge of the plateau above. But not before hearing that during the attack, a local museum hosting artifacts from an ancient civilization before a legendary flood in this region was broken into, and various treasures were stolen. What was stolen and why will require a good deal of investigation, if you care to do so. Once you've left the city and head up on top of the plateau, you find yourself bordering a massive hypersaline lake. In our own world, a lake like this would be devoid of life, save for the occasional flock of surprisingly hardy flamingos. As such, you can see a good deal of flamigo here, when they migrate through. But there's also many other species to be found in abundance. For one, you can find the hypersaline variant of Mariroll and its evolution, as well as the entire Nocli line. But you may notice something a little more frightening slithering and swimming by. This is Salimbiri. It's a rock poison type that leaves burning, searing wounds by salting them the moment they're left, boiling their target's blood in an overwhelming chemical reaction. They're based on brine shrimp, a microscopic species that thrives in this sort of environment, and have shockingly frightening skeletal appearances under a microscope, reminding me of the ghost leviathans of Subnautica. Just be careful when you start to see these. Don't venture deeper into the lake without chemical protection and a very strong team, because you don't want to encounter what these little monsters evolve into this early in your adventure. Once you manage to circle the plateau and make your way to the northwest end, the first thing you find is, surprisingly, the next gym. It sits right on the edge of the lake, as part of a laboratory studying the geology and biochemistry of the lake and its unique inhabitants. The lab seems to be up in a frenzy, studying a stone of some rather unique properties that was just discovered here. You'll also find the rock-type gym leader, Roshan, in an argument with the poison-type leader, Aygun.
This is unprecedented! The energy is closer to Dynamax phenomenon in Galar, but the intensity and density is on par with Mega Evolution. This could prove the theory that Agia was created by a meteor impact, and one with similar properties to the meteor struck by Kalos' ultimate weapon. These stones could be the start of a whole new phenomenon that could revolutionize battling.
Yeah, maybe it could do that, but you have no idea if this is even remotely safe. Exposing Pokemon to random foreign energies could completely alter their biologies in catastrophic ways. Do you want to see another Mega Glalie with a shattered jaw? Or a Mega Lucario unable to control his strength and punching holes in everything? No thanks. I'd rather see those obnoxious crystal hats everything in Paldea is wearing.
They're not even real crystals.
Oh, pull yourself together. We got to do our other jobs now. I'm sensing some dangerous chemistry between those two, so look alive.
They seem pretty sturdy, too. I hate to leave this research right now, but a good enough battle should make up for it.
The gym challenge ahead of you involves a test of your environmental intelligence, making your way through a lab containing various environmental hazards you need to manipulate to counter each other and clear your path, such as passing a river via blasting it with liquid nitrogen, eroding a limestone barrier, and so on. Upon passing it, expect to be challenged by two professionals who, despite their opposite mannerisms, are incredibly cohesive in a fight. Roshan's team happens to include a preview of a line you won't see until much later into the region, starting with this little guy, Classtyke. He's a living pyroclast, a ball of magma freshly ejected from a volcano, and ready to evolve into a plethora of different stones. It starts off as rock fire, but loses its fire type no matter what route it evolves down, and that depends on what weather it cools in. When Classtyke cools in an average sunny environment, they'll become Basaltarge, a slow, defensive, traditional rock type made of pure basalt pillars. If they cool in rain or snow, they become Obsidash, a fast, physical sweeper rock dart type, made of sharp shards of obsidian. If they cool in a sandstorm, they become Sedimental, a sandstone rock psychic type. An excellent support unit. All three of these do happen to evolve further, but they're metamorphic evolutions, so they take considerable time and effort. As such, it's taking me a lot of time and effort to design them. You'll get to see them further down the line. You can also expect Roshan to carry a Knucklestack and a Cinder. Aygun then tends to carry around a Salimbiri, a Daluzum, and an Alolan Grimer. But despite their team's wide type coverage, with enough effort and planning, you can handle them just fine.
Okay, I'll admit, you two are impressive. You have a long way to go yet, but you're well past the curve. Keep it up, and I expect a chain reaction that will rock Mesopas to its core.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And actually, you two are good enough. I think I've got a job in mind for you both. So, take this resist badge. When you can, meet me at the mine to the southwest. It'll really be worth your time, I promise.
And so your second gym badge is earned, and all that's left is to explore what remains of this corner of the map before you move on. From here, heading down the plateau, you'll find the gym borders the tiered city of Kapz. The upper tier of the city is local government, museums, and large businesses. Beneath, you'll find a river flowing from beneath the cliff and splitting the middle-class section where most of the population lives. a vibrant place that seems slightly spiteful of the upper class tier. Below that, you'll find the lower class section tucked in a small valley, on the other side of which is an incomplete stone fortress from a long-lost empire. Here you can find plenty of cinder and boulder. You may want to slow down and search the city for more side quests, including a few hints of the nature of shuttle trains limited, and an encounter with the cloaked figure from the Balloon Festival. From here, not much remains to see in this section of the region. There's an ancient church turned into a museum to the central north, a cavern containing Mesopan rults nearby, and to the south, the ruins of the ancient city of Dana, where a surprising chill emanates from the caves to the north. But, most importantly, if you follow Roshan's lead through a small series of lakes to the southwest, all the way to the mine waiting there, he'll task you with helping to clean out some invading Sableye so you can get your hands on a new rare stone waiting within, and unlock its incredible properties. But that's getting into mechanics. And that is for the next leg of your adventure. For now, this is all I have for you regarding the region and the plot. But there is so much more in the works. We're only getting started. 6 more gems await, the truth of the ancient legendary plot of this region, the identities of the villains and their horrid ambitions, and plenty more await you in the videos to come. But next time, we're getting into character creation and original mechanics, including the one Roshan was just about to introduce you to. Big things are coming, and this region will only get more exciting from here on.
Hey, aren't you forgetting something?
Oh, of course not. I'd like to give my sincerest gratitude to my voice actors and actresses for this presentation. To start, we have the lovely VTuber Wakraya as Professor Cedar, giving the longest and most detailed performance of this video. She was the hardest role to cast, and I can't thank Wak enough for her excellent job on these lines. Next, we have a familiar face, Lumiere as Aruker, the very same Turkish citizen who's been helping me with getting an inside perspective of Turkish culture when developing this region. Following him, we have a very old and dear friend of mine, SassCannon, voicing Damla. Great to hear her voice again after all these years. Good to have you back, Liz. Starting our second pair of gym leaders, we have the VTuber Lucy Okada here voicing Aygun, and her performance is excellent as always. The moment I pitched the character to her, she was all over it. Sadly, the voice actor I selected to play Roshan had to pull out last minute, so I ended up having to voice him myself 2 days before putting this video up. Yeah, that was a really rapid change, but I still managed somehow. Now, I wonder who'll be playing the next 4 gym leaders. Well, you'll have to wait to find out, because next time, we're jumping into new mechanics. For now, this is the Envoy of Kairos, signing out. And I'll see you all again soon for another magnificent video, then a month or 2 for the next Mesopas update. Thanks for watching, guys.